Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin with my P7 and my speech, I'd like all of you to just close your eyes for a minute and think, when is the last time you wished to do something ridiculously tough? When was the last time you wanted to achieve something which is impossibly hard? Whether it be losing 2 kilos in a month, growing your business by 20 times, or running a marathon, or leading the entire zone in your company, or giving your CC. When was the last time you wished to do something so tough, so ridiculously tough that it seemed like a Mount Everest? Right? Okay, now just think, open your eyes and think, how many of you dared to take that path and to attempt that feat? And how often you did that of all the times you wish? And how many times have you succeeded in that enormous feat? Now I'll tell you a story. The dark midnight of 4th of July 1976 in Entebbe Airport, Uganda. 105 innocent Israeli citizens, ordinary people like you and me, are held hostage by more than 100 terrorists for several days. They don't know whether they will see the day of the next morning. Suddenly, 29 Israeli commandos descend out of thin air and attempt what is the most impossible rescue mission. And then, but wait, 1 week ago, on 27 June 1976, an Air France plane from Israel is taken hijack. There are 248 passengers, and the hijackers are PLF-PO, who are campaigning for Palestine. The plane with all its passengers is taken to Entebbe Airport, Uganda, and they are supported by the Ugandan dictator. The ransom, the release of 43 terrorists who are convicted in Israel. As you can imagine, it's a national crisis in Israel. The Prime Minister doesn't know whether to submit or to strike. Authorizing a daring military operation with the reality of civilian blood on your hands is not for the faint-hearted. However, he asks his military to prepare a plan. And it is then that Colonel Yonatan Netanyahu, with less than 72 hours before the deadline, begins planning what is the most impossible military rescue mission, not just in his career, not just in the career of his forces, but possibly in the entire world. He has no idea whether he will succeed. He has no idea whether this is even possible for him. But he goes on. The task is entrusted to the Sayeret Matkal, the most elite unit of the Israel Defense Forces. These are men and women who have trained for 6 brutal months in very unorthodox warfare. They can operate like a spy and strike like a soldier. It is said even now that the only country the ISIS is scared of is Israel because of these people. These men, I'll tell you something about them. When most soldiers are under fire, they look for cover. But when the Sayeret Matkal is under fire, they stay put. They identify the source of the fire and they take it out. That is the conviction and the courage and the daring they have. And very fittingly, their motto is, "Who dares wins." But they also believe that their skill should not be less than what they dare to do. So preparations go on. The terminal of the airport is created right on their base as a replica with less than 24 hours to go. Finally, on the evening of 3rd July, 4 C-130 Hercules planes take off from Israel. the Prime Minister writes in the official archives, the planes are on their way, and with them, the fate of Israel. The Colonel is there in the cockpit with the fate of not just his life, but the lives of his soldiers and of 105 other people. These planes normally fly at an altitude of 10,000 feet, but he is flying them at 100 feet and over the Red Sea. An unthinkable route because he wants to avoid the enemy's radar. Eventually, the planes land undetected at Entebbe airport, and while it is still taxiing, a black Mercedes and two jeeps roll out. They race towards the airport building, and the colonel is sitting right in the front. He shoots two armed guards and makes his way into the terminal. In the terminal, all the hostages are grouped inside a dark hall, tied together. They don't know whether they will be saved or sacrificed. There's unnerving gunfire, and the Israeli defense forces break in. A gunfight issues. Metal, glass, limb, everything is broken through. 29 Israeli commandos against more than 100 Ugandan soldiers, and the soldiers are shot dead. 29 people rescue all the hostages, take them onto the plane, and leave after destroying the Ugandans' fighter planes. The Ugandans didn't even know what hit them and how it happened. They reach Israel and complete the most daring mission in their history called Operation Entebbe. They are national heroes. But what does this have to do with us? I'll ask you. When you want to do something which is so daring, the first step to winning, the first step to achieving something is daring to win. And mind you, I say daring to win, not daring to lose. Because some goals are so worthy that it is glorious even to fail. And if you dare to win, and your skill is not less than your daring, you might just pull off what the Israelis did, the impossible. Thank you.